Okay, what's up, everyone? So, this is the first League C Championship. It's a special side tournament hosted by Assemble Me, where champions from different divisions play each other in a tournament. And this is the finals of the C tier. So, everyone who won C in their division played each other in a bracket, and we now have the finals of it, which is Apostolosoruler versus singletee. Let's take a brief look at this board. We have draw, we have trashing, we have bridge, so I think you know what that means. Let's see. Okay, so Apostolosoruler does go for the Desperation Altar open. Altar is really strong as an open. Let's see. Yeah, singletee also goes for that same opening. Getting altar is really good. Like something we were talking about recently is how good transport is with altar. So in a lot of cases, it's worth taking the curse. Just a little gamble there. I think for style, I don't think it triggered a shuffle or anything. So far they're grabbing stables. Stables is going to be probably the best draw on the board. Like, you'd like to use your actions for bridge, and stables is effectively a lab. Like, you obviously can do a sort of city smithy thing, but doesn't leave you a ton of actions for playing lots of bridges, which is what you want to do. So they both, let's look at the opens a little more carefully. It looks like they both open Altar Steward with a Desperation, which I like. To be totally honest, I'm not sure what the Faithful Hound is doing. I don't see any way to like discard it and have it get set aside. Terminal space is, a bit limited. There are two villages here. Shantytown isn't the best village, but it is a village. I think I definitely would rather have cities though, and with Altar you get pretty easy access to cities. Let's see if they pick up another hound here. Draw is draw. But it's not very good draw. So singletee does like to pick up another hound. Let's see if they can make these hounds work. I mean, given enough cities, draw is draw. Stables, is a lab. Pretty good draw. At the same time, there is smithy on the board for sort of real draw. But right now it looks like they're both just rushing cities, which I get. Oh, this is a nice gamble. You get to trash some estates. That's really nice. Okay, so can start using puzzle, which is my gamble. Must seem great, but I want to click desperation. Well, it worked out. Sometimes you gotta make just really good mistakes in Dominion. Okay, so more bomb rushing of cities. Has the opportunity to pick up another city here, a stable, smithy, bridge. I kind of want to see a bridge here, add some plus buy. But they don't have a ton of payload, so I guess they're just going to keep going for cities. Okay, so we got some good gain and play of bridge here. Doesn't do a ton. Oh, with desperation you can do city bridge here. Or city smithy. Yeah, city bridge. I like that. That is nice. Bit of a bum hand for singletee here. Just alter for presumably another city. Yep. And I don't know, will singletee grab yet another hound? Could gamble here. I agree, Wandering Winter. Apo does seem very far ahead. Okay, so desperation for a bridge. So these stables are going to get a little risky because they've trashed almost all their treasure. So we are possibly looking at stables duds at some point. 2 coppers left in the deck. But this is a huge turn here. Can pick up a city and a bunch of bridges and then potentially end the game next turn. Oh, you're right. We do have bridge gamble. Although they didn't do it in the right order for that. Yeah. Now you just get a bunch of bridges. Okay. Can I do the order of city bridge? So it looks like they do want to do the bridge gamble trick. So buy a bridge, gamble it. And now everything's even cheaper, so you can get yourself just a whole bunch of bridges, some shanty towns, some cities. It's kind of whatever you like here. It's like when you go to the supermarket, and yeah, I don't think it really makes a big deal. Okay, they're just gonna keep gambling. I don't think it's really doing much. It looks cool. It's a lot of spinning. But you're not actually netting a buy or anything. Yeah, you gotta watch out for pileouts, but you're sitting on most of the bridges, so I don't think singletee has a possible win this turn. They just don't have enough gains. I don't know, maybe if they buy and play via alter and gamble 3 bridges, they could somehow get a sneaky pileout. But they are also 1 VP behind, so they have to also alter that curse. And they're player 1s, and then they have to score on top of that. I don't see it. I'd love to be proven wrong. Yes, I agree. I think they can pile bridge and curse, but I don't think they, I don't see it. But it's worth counting out, of course. If I was in Apostoloruler's position, this looks relatively safe. If they're taking 5 curses, they don't have that many gains to begin with. So let's assume they can get 3 more bridges in play, which is hard. They can pile curses, and then what? Buy a duchy's not going to do it. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Wandering Winter. So going into a bit of a think here. Okay, grabbing a bridge. So they can do gamble bridge twice now. And that leaves them with 5 buys. So if they do gamble bridge twice, buy desperation, that brings them to 4 curses. And they can buy 4 curses and a province? Does that win by 1 point? Oh, can they actually buy? Someone check my math here. Yeah, I'm having trouble counting the buys is the problem. Because Gamble gives a buy and Bridge also gives a buy, but it uses a buy, so it only nets you a buy. Yeah. Okay, so yes, it is short on buys. Yeah, it doesn't actually net you a buy. So here I guess you... Okay. I mean, that's one way to lose. That's a very fancy resign. Yeah, okay. That's an actual resign now. There's the hope for the dud. I guess you play for the dud, right? You take some villages and stuff, and you hope that they just completely stables dud with 4 bridges in hand or something, and then you get your next turn and win. I mean, play to your out. I respect it, but as soon as you see they're having a turn, it's not going to go well. They have to empty just curses with desperation, and they have like all the bridges and cities. But I mean, there was a dud hand, right? Like, they could have just drew bridges or, stables with nothing but actions that don't draw. Money, 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 money. Yeah, it looks pretty money-ish. So you get to do the Necro Animal Fair trick, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, they did miss. You can delve Animal Fair. Oh, well, delve Animal Fair. You can't double delve because you didn't have the forehand. Okay, grabs the Devil's Workshop. With delve, it's going to be pretty nice to print imps because it's going to be pretty easy to get 2 gains. Right, like draw 4 copper in Devil's Workshop, or just 4 money, Devil's Workshop, that's delve imp. And there's not much draw on the board, and by not much I mean Faithful Hound. Yep, there are imps. That's why I was kind of hyping them up, is there's not much besides imps. Okay, early forge is great. Getting that on this board will be really nice. Okay, doesn't hit 4 unfortunately, so can't grab an imp. Dungeon's good sifting though. Forges everything. Grabs a market square. So there's like the forge market square interaction to print some gold. It's definitely gonna be big. Just because gold's actually a pretty good card on this board. It's very money-ish. I mean, there's certainly like an engine to be built here of sorts, right? Like you have Market Square, you have imps, you have Animal Fair, you have Forge. Like you can do some stuff, but it's rough goings out here. So let's see, are we gonna delve into another workshop? Imps are good. Sage, okay. and gets his imp. Okay, so we're gonna forge probably everything, or just the coppers into a copper, get the market square react, and then Devil's Workshop gains an imp. Okay, I like that. Not really much trashing going on, but you gained a gold and an imp. That's pretty fucking good. Now, if only Poorhouse was here, we could forge our animal fairs into, and poorhouses into provinces and have something going. Animal Fair Remake actually sounds really interesting. I wonder if I've ever played that. That sounds really fun. But Sage is an imp target, as is Artificer. Okay. First big turn. Let's see what they do with it. Yeah, I mean, Delve Province is definitely a line. Like, you're not building that big on this board. I'm not sure I'm ready to green here yet. Delve, Artificer, Dungeon. Okay. Okay, so does manage to line up Forge and Market Square again. This is nice because nothing costs 1, so those actually disappear. I'm gonna turn my AC up, so apologies if sounds weird for a second. Okay, so singletee does green first. I think I agree with your assessment, Dub, that money is, the thing to do here. But they want to build. At least Apostolosoruler does. Single team might just continue provincing from here, which seems pretty winning to me. Yeah, you can keep Havel in hand for trash. That is a small mistake. But there's a possibility they're not greening this turn. No, they are. Okay, so that was just a mistake. Yep, we all make them. Lots of little mistakes. Happy little accidents. Oh, they took dungeon. Okay, so it was a happy little accident. Well, it's like Bob Ross says, they're not mistakes. They're just happy little accidents. It was a decision, but also it was just how they played it. That's what they discarded, and then they could buy a dungeon. Now, they could have kept Havel. It's probably better. Okay, so Apo is just continuing to build here. Yeah, that seems right to me. I don't think you're forging. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, this Artificer draw is not what you're looking for. You only need one more money. So you probably Artifice here for like a market square or something. You could just like buy gold. It's an okay card. Yeah, they Artifice for the market square, buy another Artificer. It's not doing anything for you. There's a possibility it's just a draw card. Maybe you use the buy. Maybe it's an imp target. Like, it's basically just a cantrip. And if there's one thing Thunder Dominion has taught me is that people really like their cantrips. Correct. It's not draw. Just a cantrip. Will Apo finally green? Will they just continue to build? Yep, they really want to build. They're going to try to build very big on a board that I do not think you can really afford to build that big on. Okay, I think you want to play the dungeon first because you're hoping to find an imp. But it all works out anyway. Draws the same amount of cards. Okay, grabs a duchy. Feels early. I mean, it does trash a hovel, so it's not like you added a junk card to your deck. You know, it's card neutral, but I don't know. Seems early. Could buy something better probably and trash that hovel later. You have a duchy you can't trash. So, on the other hand, Apostolosoruler is really enjoying artificing Faithful Hounds for more Faithful Hounds and just setting them all aside. They're starting off with these huge hands. It remains to be seen whether it's actually going to do that much, but it's a lot of spinning for sure. Okay, Artificer, Hound, and that's it. And I mean, they get their imp. But wow, they do not want a green. They are allergic to green. Faithful Hound over Province. Yep. By the way, Aku or Wandering, if either of you want to jump on commentary, feel free. But yes, Apostolosoruler has decided they just want to build this game. You know, never stop building. Green equals purple, whatever your favorite thing for it is. Okay, we see some delving. So they start with 9 hounds in hand. And they get to dungeon, set to aside. Discard more hounds to inn. Now we're gonna artifice a bunch of hounds, I assume. Or is the plan to forge some of these hounds? Just gaining more stuff, but It's just a lot of spinning. Let's see what we're forging. Just a copper. Okay, so we just want to build payload. We're not actually ready to convert any of these cards into stuff yet. I hope for Apostoloruler's sake they have auto react with hound set, because otherwise it looks like a tremendous amount of clicking. Okay, they want an undo. Let's see. Do they possibly want to use this artificer? Okay, so the big question, with 20 money now, drawing deck, will they add green cards? They do. We see 2 provinces, and then presumably a market square. Yep, and get ourselves another imp, and have 10 hounds set aside. Imagine playing this at IRL. You're just starting off with a hand with 10 faithful hounds in it. You just have this giant hand you have to lug around. So singletee here is in a bit of a position. They know that Aposto can easily double on their next turn. So they can't... Oh, they do elect to mill a province. Okay, I was gonna say, that seems very unsafe. But I guess you want to lose? I mean, all he has to do here is artifice 8 faithful hounds and forge some other ones or something like that, and that's 2 provinces. Our display here, you know. Yep. There's a bunch of ways to win there. Yeah, that was a suicide move from singletee. I'm not sure why they milled that province. Absolutely was not safe. Apostoloruler stack was definitely threatening double easily. So would money have smoked that deck? I don't know. I would be interested to see like Wandering Winder play it against Apo. Okay, but let's look at this board. So we have Populate. Populate's always fun. Get a bunch of cards. You got half VP on 13. Yeah. Okay, that sounds pretty reasonable. I mean, money did look pretty fast there. There's no real attack or anything to slow you down, so. Okay, so you get the nice island trash, a hovel. That's always fun. And that lines up. So we have Enchantress scrap from singletee. Island Enchantress from Aposto. Unfortunate. So it would be a bad collision, but luckily one of them is a pig. It's a hard decision to make. Which would you? Because you really want to scrap this overgrown estate. Yeah. That is not what you wanted to draw, though. And shelters do make scrap a bit worse because you only get one bonus from it instead of two. I was thinking like, oh, this is easy silver horse, but no, you don't get any of that. So they take one to get the island. Trashing those hovels. So the biggest synergy on the board I can find is Scrap Fortress. You can definitely get a bunch of stuff off of that. It's not like Upgrade Fortress or, like really good trash rate benefit with Fortress. But it is good gains, and there's not a ton going on this board. We only have Archive for draw and horses and Enchantress. So presumably it's an Archive, yeah. It doesn't look like either of them is dipping into the Scrap Fortress stuff that deeply. We're gonna see it here. So Apo is keeping up a very steady stream of enchantresses, making sure singletee is enchanted every turn. It would be nice to hit Populate on this board because there's no card I'm particularly upset about having. I don't really want Trader, but that's fine. The easiest way I can see to hit Populate is building up coffers with Villain. That being all said, I'm not sure that... Yeah, you can just scrap the Trader for sure. I'm not sure that they are necessarily building to Populate. Like, it seems good, but I have a hard time judging it when it's not an explosive board. Because Populate's very hit or miss. On some boards, it's like you hit 10 and you kind of win. On other boards, not so much. You get a bunch of cards and then your deck doesn't really come together. I also think I'd be aiming to Populate here, especially with Villain to build up coffers. I think it's your internet, Dark Boons, because it's going at full speed for me. Yeah, he's drawing deck, so I'm not sure why we take horse over silver, but I guess you do want that reliability, and you're gonna hit Populate next turn. Would you have been able to Populate if you scrapped for silver that turn? I guess you would have. Yeah. Okay, yes, I agree. That seems like a mistake. So I'm glad to see them both kind of leading into the Scrap Fortress lifestyle. It's a lot of fun. Fortress is a card I've seen a lot of players like lists because it doesn't love a village you can trash for benefit that just pops back into your hand. I built the jankiest engine recently using Dr. Fortress's draw. Oh lord. It's a fun card. Yep, so that's our first trade of the game. Get rid of some of that crap, get some silvers instead. This should be a populate here from Apo. Play this horse, find your fortress, scrap that fortress. You can even play the necro first, that you have some extra actions. But you probably want to just scrap for action stuff because you want to play Enchantress and Villain. Oh, looks like Apostolosoruler realizes that the populate is coming, has no real way to populate on his own, and just resigns. Okay, so all three games end in resignation so far. Oh boy, Cultist is here. That's always fun. Oh, Orchard's here too. So, if you collect 3 of the same ruin, get some points for that. Sheepdog is like kind of cultist defense because it draws cards when you get hit, but it's cultist defense in the same way that like it's Montebeg defense. It's like kind of okay. Grand Market looks great, but going to be hard to hit with a million ruins in your deck. Yeah, oh, and the 5/2, yeah, early Doctor looks absolutely terrific. One problem Doctor has is not particularly good at trashing ruins. Fairgrounds kinda works as cultist defense, but you still have to have all those ruins in your deck. I'd prefer just to not have all those ruins in my deck and win the ruin split. Like, badly. Cultist games often, especially with something like Den of Sin, like where you have non-terminal draw, that like works with cultist. Like, I feel like once you get up and running, you can really pump your opponent full of ruins. So Singletee's sitting on big hand here. It could get really clean with another big Doctor. Yeah, there's also Aqueduct. It is sitting pretty high. It's probably not going to get much higher this game. I mean, that is a duchy. It's an 8-point duchy. Oh, they go for the cultist. Yep, I mean, cultist is a very, very strong card. Okay, this might be an estate. Oh, Fairgrounds there? Yeah, that's better than that's better than Duchy for sure. Over the course of this game, you're gonna have a lot of uniques. Okay, it does take the estate. Okay, Den. Cultist number 1. So now you have the choice of Den or Cultist. Which would you prefer? Flex for another Cultist. Yeah. Cultist is a really good card, and your deck's pretty slim. So, they're gonna collide. Okay, Apo is electing not to buy Cultist, which seems like a pretty losing move to me. Doctor's not going to be able to trash these ruins reliably because they all have different names. Yay! Jesus. Like, look. That ruined village stopped. Not even a copper trash. Like, you could try to just trade away and then maybe get another big doctor. But, I mean, it is pain. I don't see this working out well for Apo. Just trying to trade his way through the ruins, I guess. With doctors. I mean, the problem is you just have to keep buying big doctors to kill off enough ruins. And how are you, like, then you have a bunch of doctors in your deck, and you have to start using doctor to kill doctor. You're still only getting, like, oh my god, you have 9 ruins in your deck right now. Like, what are you doing with your life? They have all these dens and all these cultists. Like, this looks resignable, honestly. This does not look good for Apostolosoruler. Apostolosoruler. Yeah, they can buy a grand market. Apostolosoruler. I'm just gonna call him Apo. His name is impossible for me to pronounce. Okay, so another giant doctor trying to clean up. On the other hand, we're drawing deck here. So probably, I'd say another den. Gold? Okay, I don't really like gold. I mean, you're obviously playing some variant of cultist money, but I want a bunch of dens. You'd probably province there. Okay. These doctors are not hitting anything. And it looks like we're gonna have another early resign. Yeah, so not sure what Apostoloruler said. Yeah, they did get the orchard points for 3 ruined libraries. Okay. So that's what really matters here, I think. Oh, we have Chameleon. But yeah, not sure what the plan there was with not playing Cultist. It's one of those cards you really better have a good reason for ignoring, and Doctor is not a good reason to ignore it. Chameleon Mill is really weird because you discard to draw and it gives you money up front. We also have, as Kaplan calls it, Smithery, which is livery that's a smithy. Jam Merchant doesn't do anything because you play the silver and then you draw a bunch of cards. So, unless you're playing it, I mean, you can still play the treasure, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it does do something, but it's not really what you want. Experiment Chameleon is just like Horse Chameleon. It's effectively turns into a mystic that didn't hit, or a festival. It doesn't give you plus buy reactions. Indeed, that there is no village here is a big deal. So I think you want to get fairly slim with Steward, and then I want to probably play with Mills and Smitheries. You don't want to draw with livery. You just prefer to draw with mill and then play livery normally. Okay, so singletee getting really clean here. Let's see, will this be livery? Gold. Don't love gold here. Livery just seems better than gold. Gold over livery. What is it with these gold lovers in the chat? Livery is a gold that makes you horses. It's a great card. Livery does lead to collision, but like, what do you have in your deck right now? A steward? Are you really that worried about playing it? Oh man. Yeah, so you played a smithery there because you know you're just gonna draw up copper, so you get a clean shuffle. And here it's either mill or province or gold. Gold works too. Just add some more. This is only getting you one horse, but that horse is a lot for reliability in a money deck. Like, I definitely want those horses. They're free experiments, man. That's what they were doing the experiments on. They made horses. And on top of that, if you ever hit a weird hand where you have like 6 and a horse, you just play as chameleon. So it looks like they want to play horse as chameleon, then livery, so they can get basilica points. Oh, that's not what I would have done. Because this doesn't get basilica points. This does indeed seem ungood. You get a cleaner shuffle now, I guess. But I really would have liked to just play the horse as chameleon. That way I could have gotten those sweet basilica points from a province. But they just said they want to go for gold. It's fine. So we have Funky Mill here. Okay, first province gets taken by Apo. So again, a lot of smithery here because it helps clean up your shuffle. Grab those coppers at the bottom of your shuffle. Basilica points are out, so at this point, mill looks like the best VP source when you miss province. Here we can do a nice mill discard, play the livery normally, buy ourselves a province, get a horse. Here I don't think we play the horse. Yeah, we just do livery province. Because if you can save a horse, you want to save that horse, man. Saving horses is good. Here I think I would have played mill as chameleon. Drawn on a little further. Is there a song Save a Horse? I have no idea. Okay, so we're down to 2 provinces with no plus buy. Apo is in the lead. Looking like his game. Yeah, I think you have to prob and pray here. There's no real choice. You're not gonna win a duchy dance. You're not. Yeah, it's not getting better. Okay, does hit province, so here we have to play a blind smithery and hope it draws us enough gold. Oh, they elect to just take duchy. Okay, that seems kind of losing. So here, do we play Mills Chameleon? Yep. Draw on. Yeah, but it lost. I definitely would have taken the gamble. You're still probably going to find Mill or Duchy anyway, and you don't really need the VP. Yeah, I mean, oh, we have Bishop Fortress. We have Montebank. Mouse's native village, which does not excite me. Counting House, obviously the true Montebank counter. So with Goat, I wonder if it is possible to get clean enough to do Bishop Fortress stuff. Also, Old Witch, of course, a cursor, but it just kind of pales in comparison to Monty. Ooh, and singletee has the 5-2, so they are able to open Monty. Silver Pixie, also reasonable. Silver, also reasonable. I'm a big Pixie fan. Okay, they both grab Monty's their own, so this game is going to have a very interesting curve, I think. Where they're going to junk each other's decks to hell, and then they're probably going to try to transition to some sort of Bishop Fortress thing. Okay, there's the first fortress. Besides being a cool... Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to happen either. I mean, Goat's going to help them clean up. If they can get Flames Gift, it's going to help them clean up. Bishop, obviously, because you get the trash on both sides, will also help them clean up. But that was what I was wondering at the start of the game, is it possible to do Bishop Fortress stuff here, given how much junk you're going to be eating from Monty? I mean, even when curses are out, it's still dumping you coppers, which admittedly, if you get clean, you can trash pretty easily, especially with Goat. Putting some work in. Okay, Apple gets a gold, so that to me signals we're probably not playing the Bishop E deck. And Counting House, okay. I was kind of memeing about it being Mountebank counter, but it does... okay, it's a meme counter, but if you get it at the right point in your shuffle, and they've been dumping coppers into your discard the whole time, it can be really nice. Now that being said, when you get it near the top of your shuffle, it's completely useless. I don't know, like I was playing around simming, like IGG Counting House stuff, and it's weird, is the real answer to it. Guess this Counting House here could pay out. But do you want to play that, or do you want to play the Montebank, give your opponent some more junk? Yeah, exactly. You should be able to choose where you put Counting House in your shuffle. That's the buff Counting House needs. That's what the people demand. Okay, so these bands can potentially be bishops, if that's gonna be an idea here. Curses are almost out. Okay, they're getting more fortresses. So more gold. Aposto. I mean, I still don't know the way they're going to be playing this. That's unfortunate. You'd really like to draw the band with a fortress in hand. Plays a sleigh, get some horses. I'm a big fan of horses. More fortresses. Okay, elects to green. So we have Band of Misfits and Fortress in the same hand. Well, Appo's probably not bishoping, but these Band of Misfits can be bishops. So yeah, certainly not making a priority. Moat now seems bizarre. And a second moat. Curses just ran out. Why are you buying moats, man? Ooh, that is a juicy counting house. Likes to just grab a pixie with ironworks. I think I probably would have rather played a sleigh, but pixie's good too. I mean, moat is draw. They did get Forest Gift here. So this is going to be one of their only turns with plus buy. Let's see what they decide to do with it. Yeah, I actually was wondering, like, at times does Appa want to be taking these coppers, hoping for a big counting house? This is singletee Alexa just province. Cannot seem to draw band and fortress together for any bishop fortress fun. Can bishop away this curse if he wants. Plays a moat instead. Yeah, you take that boon in a heartbeat. Oh boy. It's the counting house. That gets us another province. So, like, I was memeing at the start, but this counting house stuff's kind of working. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're building towards Bishop Fortress. They need to be, if they did, they would have need to be cleaning up a lot more aggressively. Yeah, I guess since he already saw his counting house, he can safely discard that curse. Here, I'm guessing you bishop his curse away? Yeah. Really sad draws for singletee here, but I mean, neither of them drawing particularly well in this slog of a game. Yeah, it would be playing these bands as slays probably most of the time. I mean, the thing is, you have Mouse's native village, so you don't really have to worry about terminal space. But, like, you almost wish that Mouse was Ox instead at this point. Because these native villages are basically just necropolises. Oh, elects to gain the copper rather than discard the curse? Perhaps wants to bishop it now? Okay, I don't understand. If you're not going to kill the curse, why didn't you discard it? Singletee just buying duchies. Oh, this fairy pop gives you a province, and that's GG. That was a messy slog of a game. So it is now 3-3. We are going into Game 7. Game 7 alert. So maybe Assemble Me can rule us. Are we playing under if it is a tie, player 2 wins? If it's a tie, they play on. Okay. So there will be no ties here. I like that rule, Assemble Me. I don't understand why they do. If it's a tie, then you have the same starts. It seems like if it's a tie, then you should flip starts. This board would really like a village. So they're playing with a lot of delve so far. Let's look at the opens for a second. So we had Lookout, Delve, Candlestick Maker, so we had Delve Paddock. That seems pretty strong. The CSM seem awful. Well, they're plus buy. They are the only plus buy on the board. So far we're going for Paddocks and Storytellers mostly, with a bunch of Delve thrown in. Yep, we're seeing the quad Delve here. Singletee trying to build more. Why doesn't Singletee have a paddock? It's a decent question. Ooh, that's not the lookout you want to see. Trash one of those candle ship makers. And goes for the Noble Brigand. Does get a hit, but can't say I really agree with that play. Gets a hit again. More Storytellers, more CSMs. Apo's just going for money. Seems pretty solid on this board. Very hard to build an engine here. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not too hard. It's just Storyteller and Delve. It just kind of sucks to use Storyteller as buy with no payload other than money. The Storyteller uses up your money drawing. I mean, Storyteller can be great when you have like good payload, like you're trying to get to your governors, you're trying to get to your goons, you're trying to get to all the other, fun cards that do more than just be money. Maybe I'm a bit too tight with my definition of engine. Storyteller, Candlestick Maker, Delve. It's an engine. Okay, I'll give you that. It's an engine. But it's a weird one. And it's not, I guess, traditionally what we consider an engine under what might be my fairly pedantic rules. Yeah, exactly, Sif. What about to draw the power payload of Noble Brigand? Singletee's stopping here to reconsider their life. Personally, what do I want to do here? I want to do what Apo's doing. I want to play with some Paddocks and play mostly money. A lot of Delve. Taxman. Okay, so even though they don't have the terminal support to play those two, I guess Noble Brigand just isn't gonna get played anymore. It did its best. Yeah, they're just adding all the really strong attacks on the board they can. Really trying to show this engine can compete if it has enough attacks. Look at that. Cost Apo their province. So I assume this is going to be something like Delve Distant Lands. Okay, Duchy. I'd rather get the Distant Lands, but okay. Paddock Sheepdog is like cool if you line it up, but the thing is you have to add a bunch of sheepdogs to your deck and their terminals. And Paddock is terminal. It feels pretty sketchy to me. Trashman misses. But you get that valuable hand inspection, so you can see that their hand is not that great. And we see the Guardian come out. Apo is clearly very afraid of this engine that might not be scoring, but is just attacking viciously. So we are now safe from attacks. Exactly, Sif. What could be more dangerous attack in Dominion than playing a taxman every turn? I can't think of a stronger attack. And this is the great thing about attacks, what took me a long time to realize, is attacks actually make engines better on the whole. So they mean that money can't just do its thing, because engines can set up strong attacks and shut the money deck down by having deck control and hitting them with attacks every turn. But Apo, in seriousness now, Apo is looking to close this out. I don't think there's a way. Okay, maybe we can just kill the taxman. It wasn't really doing much. I don't think there's a way singletee gets back in this game. Buys a duchy. Here, you might just grab another Guardian. Get that money, make sure your next turn doesn't dud. Not much else you want here. Yep, another Guardian. Now you start this next turn with +2 money, that's always nice. Just trying to finish off the province pile. And you're protected from the vicious attacks like Noble Brigand. Look at all those coffers. Okay, and those Guardians really do pay off. It's exactly 8 there. Yeah, this is a slow resign. I mean, but they're not protected from Noble Brigand this turn. Oh, they had to gain a copper. It's over now, boys. Can buy like 3 duchies or something. Distant lands, save your coffers, okay. Yeah, and GG's. So congratulations to Apo, the C League champion, and congrats to singletee on placing 2nd in C League. Thank you to Assemble Me for hosting this cool impromptu tournament for people who won their league but just want to keep competing. And if you're listening to this, you should enter Quarantine Cup. It's in about 40 minutes. Alright, thanks for listening, everyone. I will talk to you later.